Emma lembe onílé lóko. Ẹ̀sìkú dédé àsìkò yìí. Hey guys, it's Aderonke again. Today I'd like to talk about another Yoruba incantation. So I was going to make a video on something else until the peoples decided that that wasn't going to work for them and a video on incantation would do. So I had to stop that and then make this one. And I hope you would find it interesting. But most importantly, I hope you would use it in your prayers. I have made a video on Ofo and given you a fairly okay introduction to incantation. So if you don't know what incantations are, what their significance is, or why we use them at all, I put all the details in the respective video titled Ofo Incantations. I'll reference it in the description and maybe somewhere in the video itself. So the title of this one is Onimakpa Olamakpa. Onimakpa Olamakpa. I'll take it one more time. Onimakpa Olamakpa. What does that mean? First of all, I have to give you the full version because that's just the title. The full version of the incantation is Onimakpa Olamakpa. Enu-enu lese pekuro ojú ọ̀nà. Onimakpa Olamakpa. Enu-enu lese pekuro ojú ọ̀nà. If you go to the rural parts, don't be surprised if you hear them pronounce pekuro as pekwo, because of how fast they speak, or maybe their intonations, or just because they're native speakers of the language and they speak fast. You may hear pekwo, ekwo. When they're saying ekuro, I'll tell you what it means shortly. But if you hear pekwo or pekuro, both are correct. Pekwo is just like a shortened version. Onimakpa olamakpa enu-enu lese pekuro ojú ọ̀nà. First, I'm going to talk about makpa and what it means. When you see makpa, you think this must be either dialectical or it's probably Old Yoruba, and I'll explain what I mean by Old Yoruba shortly as well. In current times, per current standards, if you're going to make this like a standard sentence, you would say Oni mo ma pa, ola mo ma pa, enu-enu lese pekuro ojú ọ̀nà. Instead of makpa, you may say mo ma pa. Ma seems to be like a contraction of mo ma pa. Also seems to be a contraction of pa. So ma instead of mo ma, pa instead of pa. When you first see it, you may think, what dialect is this? But it's hard to tell whether it's like from a particular dialect if you're just seeing two words. If a person speaks, they have to make a complete sentence for me to be able to say, well, this must be dialectical. This is Ijebu, this is Ijesha, this is Ikiri, this is Ibafo, this is Egba, this is Egun. I have to hear a complete sentence to be able to decipher. But if you see just 2 words or 3 words, there are 2-3 words that are common across, cities, towns, dialects, general to the Yoruba people. So it's hard to tell. So I don't think it's dialectical. It could be Old Yoruba. It is most likely Old Yoruba. Think about even the way that my name is spelled. If I'm going to expand my name, it would be Aderonke. It's a contraction. So Aderonke are the 4 words that come together to form Aderonke. And Aderonke has been contracted that way because obviously I can't have like 4 different words to one name. I have to put the name together. So that's an example of what I'm saying. Apart from the fact that there's an Old Yoruba theme to it, there's also contraction in the picture. So, mo ma, pa, pa. So let's go all the way to the word for word transliterations. Like we often do. Let's go back to the purpose of this talk in the first place. Oni makpa o la makpa. Enu-enu lese fin pekuro oju ọ̀nà. Oni is today. Oni is today. You can also say eni or oni. Both are correct. Eni or oni, both are correct. So oni, eni. But for this incantation, you would usually hear oni. So oni is today. Ma is moma. If you bring it to current times, if you expand the word, mo is I, ma is will, I will. Pa is pa. It's a contracted form of pa. Pa is kill or break. Pa is an interesting Yoruba word. I'm probably going to make a video on the different meanings that pa could have next, because it's an interesting word. It could mean hatch, as in when an egg hatches. It could be kill, as in kill or mother. It could be break, as in not necessarily a ceramic, because that would be four, but like a calabash, or like something made with clay, or like something in a knot, something that doesn't necessarily like, it's not glass. So anyway, when I make my video on it, but pa is an interesting word that could mean different things according to the Yoruba people. But there's usually an element of like destroy or kill or break with it. Like in general, what are the common words? Break, kill, hatch. Just something opening or something breaking or something dying or transforming. Transformation is often involved in the different meanings that pa could have. So pa is break in this context, and I'll tell you why it is break in this context, because of the pekuro in the picture. A is it. A is it. A is a pronoun in the object form there. So instead of saying oni mak pekuro or la mak pekuro, well, you could say it that way. You could say oni mak pekuro, la mak pekuro, but don't, because pekuro is already in like the second part of the incantation, so it's just unnecessary repetition. It's better to just say pa, break it. You know that whatever is mentioned next would be what the breaking is about. What is in the picture for breaking. So oni makpa, today I will break it. Ola makpa, ola is tomorrow. Tomorrow I will break it. Oni makpa, ola makpa. Oni or eni today. Ola is tomorrow. Otunla is the day after tomorrow. I'll probably teach you that too in a separate video. Enu-enu. Enu is mouth. Enu-enu becomes an adjective when you repeat it like that. It's like it's one word, but like just conjunct. And you double the word. You're using it in an adjectival sense. I'm probably going to teach you that as well. Usually when you double like a Yoruba word, jaga jaga, bangan bangan, ron ron, rede rede, randan randan, enu-enu. When you repeat words like that, usually you're using them as adjectives. You're using them as a form of describing something. Enu-enu, mouth. What does that mean? It's like when you're all mouth and no action, or all talk, no walk. You're using it in the adjectival sense. So that's why it's important to understand the Yoruba culture, because it helps you understand the language. It's like we believe that you shouldn't all be all mouth, or like, or you don't just put words on your tongue and say, oh, if I see her, I'm going to beat her, or maybe if I see those corrupt politicians, I'm going to speak sense into their heads, and you're like all mouth. And when you see the politician, you're like, oh, Zaddy, I've been meaning to see you all this while. That's being all mouth. That's That's enu-enu. Enu-enu ló fi ń bólé ṣèlú jà. Enu-enu ló fi ń bá olóṣèlú wí kind of thing. It's just all mouth. When it's time to actually do the action, then you want to you don't want to be involved at all. So that's mouth. When you use it in that adjectival sense, all mouth, no action, is what it doesn't necessarily expressly say. It's not what it says expressly, but it's what it connotes. When you're all mouth, no action. Enu-enu. Lese is a combination of two words. Lese is not an original word, right? It's a combination of two words. Ni is, or depending on the sentence structure, is what. Ese is the foot. It could be the feet collectively, but ese is the foot. Yes, is the leg/foot, and I'm probably going to explain that better when I make my video. Now I'm starting to see that there are lots of videos that I should be making at this time, because if I had made those videos, I would just link them, but they're not ready yet. They are in the works. So ese is the foot or feet collectively. Fi is use. Fi is use. Fi. So when comes after like a verb, the verb here is use. It becomes uses. Whenever you see in a sentence as a standalone word, it maybe connotes is, or it makes the structure of that sentence a present tense or like a continuous tense. It tells you that it's something that may either be occurring at the exact moment happening, or something that happens. Maybe even constantly, but something that happens constantly, over a period of time, keeps happening. So fi comes after fi, so it changes the use there to uses, just because is involved. Is either using, but from the sentence structure, you would say that uses is what fits it best, especially because of the kind of statement that it is. Then you make it uses. Pekuro. Pekuro is not an original word either. It's a combination of two words. If you've seen my short introduction to the Yoruba people's way of contracting words, you would know what I mean. The Yoruba people like to put words together and make them one word. It's the way that we speak. If you're a native of a language, especially when you can't speak a different language, you become a pro. You get the best of that world. You become a pro at the language. So you combine words. You don't need to pick each word for word, right? So pekuro is a combination of two words. It's the way that we speak. Obviously, it has flown over to the way that we write, or come into the way that we write, I guess. Pa is to break, is break or to break. Pa is, in this context, because a kuro is involved, it's not a person that is in the picture. It's not. The essential thing here is the palm knot. I'm going to explain it soon. Don't worry. You know that it's break, not any of the other meanings that pa could have, whether arch or murder or whatever. So pa here is to break. A kuro is palm knot. A kuro is palm knot. There's the palm fruit, which is the eni, and that's where we get our palm oil from. You get the bunch of the palm fruit from the palm tree. Usually they get them I think it's twice a year that a tapper will go up the palm tree specifically to get those palm fruits down. So if they're going for palm wine, I think they get palm wine more frequently than they get the palm fruit. I mean, you get the palm fruit down. There's a way that traditionally we use our feet to mash the palm fruit, and we get the palm oil, the oil from it, and then the oil is cooked and it goes through a lot of process. But what you have left is the palm knot. And not only do you get the palm? Inside the palm nuts, there's like what we call pekuro, the palm, the palm kernel, which is like a nut that you can chew on. Really tasty, really tasty. But you can't take too much of it at once because you start to cough. When you take too much without drinking water, it may stay in your throat. I'm probably going to make a special video on the palm tree because the palm tree is so special to us as Yoruba people. Like, everything about the palm tree, from the palm wine that you get from it, the palm oil, the palm nuts that we use for divination, the palm, the ekpa, the one that you chew on, the leaves, the palm leaves are useful. Even the shells of the palm nuts when they are cracked open. The blacksmiths, that's what they use to make their fire, like to age the fire that they use when they're working on their iron or they're carving. Àtàwọn tó máa ń mọ nǹkan. And even the ones that like make carvings, and some part of their work, if they are going to combine a woodwork with like iron, they use these things to either aid the fire or like dry the clay sculpture, or it's just everything about the palm tree is just important to us Yoruba people. So we love the palm tree. It's one of the significant, especially when our ancestors were still with a lot of our ancestors have come back, is sometimes but the people who lived in that generation, the generation where you were more reliant on nature. Now we still are reliant on nature, from the water that we drink to, we will never stop relying on nature to a degree, but when everything all they had was time and nature, the palm tree really came through for us in significant ways. So that would be another video. So when you take palm nuts and when they're just palm nuts, you call them pekuro or ekwo, like I said earlier. For the people who don't pronounce ri, they say ekwo. Bankekwo yenwa. Instead of pekuro, it's just their way of speaking, and it doesn't mean they're wrong. As a matter of fact, that's an older, like, that's when you hear someone speak like that, you know that they're more like native, more native, equal. So when they're not being used for divination, maybe fresh out of the palm fruit, like covering the juice of the is it exocap or endocap? What do they call it? The outer layer, especially when it's fresh out of it like that, it's a crow. But when you take palm nuts and you specifically decide to use them for divination, they become iki. They stop being a crow. You can't call them a crow anymore. You have to separate. I guess we like to differentiate as people. So at that point, they're not a crow anymore. You call them iki, and they become iki instead. You can't be using them to play tinko. You can't take those iki and start maybe throwing it on someone as a joke or start playing with. At that point, you know that it's sacred, right? So even where you store it and everything has to be clean, and your bonfire has to be neat. I'm not going to make it an Ifa video yet. So moving on. Ekuro, I've talked about it now. Ekuro is palm nuts. Oju, if you've seen my video on body parts, you may remember that Oju is the eye. You may remember that Oju is the eye. However, the Yoruba words are not strict. The Yoruba words are not strict. You can use them in different contexts. It doesn't mean, because this word means something, it can't mean anything else apart from that something. That doesn't apply to the Yoruba culture. People would take words that are so different from like what they're talking about and use it metaphorically. many times, or just use it in a different context, and it would still make perfect sense. As a matter of fact, it would be a rich like way of expressing themselves. So with the Yoruba language, meanings are not rigid. Oju would be like on the, like, it's like at the point of, it could be at the point of, it could be on the, depending on what word comes next. If you say ojumi, I know that you're talking to your eye, the part of your body that you call the eye, my eye, or ojuni, you know, your eye. But oju ferese, for example, you know, the window, oju ferese, or okay, using oju, the window opening, you know, it could even be opening where your hair oju could be opening, the opening or something. So your window opening, oju ferese, or just like on the way of, or the point of, you know, depends on the context that you use it in. So here would be on the oju, you know, at the because it's not an opening, it's not like a window, it's like a, I guess, depending on the word that comes after, which is on his way or path. So it would be on the way or on the path. If I say oju ferese, it would be like the opening of the window. You just know what it is based on the word that comes after, or how it is used in a sentence. So on his way or path. Okay, let's try to put these words together. Today I will break it. Tomorrow I will break it. Mouth. So all mouth is what the foot uses to break palm knot on the way or path. Let's take that again. Let's make it make a bit of sense. Today I will break it. Tomorrow I will break it. Mouth, so like all mouth, is what the foot uses to break. I said the word can also be kill. In this case, break is more like on point for what it is, which is the palm knot. Mouth is what the foot uses to break the palm knot on the path. So I've mentioned that the palm tree was important to us as Yoruba people. Before the introduction of shoes, everyone walked barefoot. We were, I guess, maybe that was why we were maybe more in touch with the earth too, because now I find that if I'm like upset or something, if I remove my socks and I'd like try to walk barefoot, I feel physically grounded again. I'm trying to caution myself from getting like distracted again. That would be another video. Back to what I was saying. So they would like walk to the farm or walk to but the time that I'm talking about, the no shoes era obviously was like way before now. Don't think you would go to Nigeria now and not see people wearing their shoes or anything. That was a long time ago. Any culture, even the English, even the whatever, that many times like to see themselves as better than us, and we let them oftentimes just because of how subservient we tend to be, even in 2020, to them. Even those categories of people walked barefoot. So in this period, you know, you had your farm, you grew your own food, you ate, you, I guess, set traps, de pakute or de kini konsha. I don't know. Before pakute, there was something else. Then kofun eranko to ma temole to ma ku. You hunted for your own like small animals or big animals to go with the food that you grew. You got your palm wine, your drink from the palm tree. So everything was like from nature. That was why there was a lot of respect for nature too. It's not like now that I don't have to. For now, I don't have a farm, so if I go to a store to buy my food, you know, when you're doing that, you become less in touch with nature because, in your opinion, you don't feel like you're so reliant on nature. So why should I honor the earth if I'm not as reliant on the earth as much? That's the illusion that many people tend to hold on to. So people would go to the farm barefoot, obviously because the palm tree provided, like counted like 5-6 things that we got from the palm tree alone, right? The palm tree is probably the most useful tree to, arguably, but I think there's no point of saying arguably. I think to a large degree, when you say what tree gives you the most products, as a Yoruba person, the first tree that comes to your mind, obviously, is igi okpe. Is the palm tree. And the thing about these trees is, one man you would live as long as the palm tree. They usually last for a while, providing a lot of benefits. So these trees were common. They would be at this point, they would be at that point, they would be at those points. The fruits that either drop from the palm tree, or like maybe after the people, I want to man shepo, maybe after the people who make palm oil like got some palm fruits or did their thing. Palm fruits just used to lie around, many times, especially on the way to the farm where there are several trees, especially palm trees. Palm fruits used to lie around. They were extremely common. You step on something, probably a palm fruit, because again, this tree was very, very utilized. So palm fruits on the palms or whatever, and that was what made like more trees grow, when their seeds sort of like, I'm not saying specifically the palm fruits, the palm nut rather. The palm nut, when it falls to the ground, automatically at that point a tree grows or anything. But I'm just saying, with many fruits, it's like the process of scattering their seeds. It is in scattering their seeds that other like plants grow. But anyway, there were palm trees on the way to the farm, palm nuts lying around, people not wearing shoes. So the foot, when you walk with your foot, right, you step on something. Maybe you're playing on the way to the farm and you're just talking with your friends or something. You step on a palm fruit. Maybe you're bored. You try to like crush it. You step on it. You try to like crush it. You can't. So you walk away, but you say, okay, I'll get this palm fruit next time that I'm walking across the spot. I'll try to break it. You walk again, you come back from the farm, maybe you get to the point where there's like a particular palm fruit. You step on it, you can't break it. Your foot can, it's a break a palm nut. You need a stone, armor, or whatever. But, well, if you're wearing like steel-toed boots or something, not just like a Dunlop, what we call Dunlop slippers in Nigeria, like a rubber slipper, then maybe you can, but you need, then shoes like that didn't exist anyway. So then if they wanted to break a palm nut so that they could get a palm kernel from it, something to chew on, again, the palm tree, wonderful tree, they would use a stone to like, I'm trying not to make the sound. They use it to break the palm nuts, So it's not something that the foot can break. It's not something that the foot can break. The foot cannot break the palm nuts. The foot cannot break the palm. You need something that is like iron or like a stone or something to break it. It's not something that the foot, again, with people walking barefoot all around, it's not something that they could do with their bare feet. So if they really wanted to like break the palm nuts, they would have to do better than just the foot. That's exactly the point. I feel like now the oils that people use the most, especially with Nigerians outside Nigeria, is vegetable oil or some for their cooking. People don't really use palm oil except they really have to in North America, just because it's like flammable and it could stain a place like permanently. It depends on your furniture. If you have like all white kitchen or something, palm oil, if you have like white tiles and all that stuff, you really have to be careful with the way you use palm oil. So I guess that's why people stay away from palm oil, because it can stain. in this case, the foot is being personified. The foot says, today I will break it. Tomorrow I will break it. The foot is being personalized. When you step on it, you attempt to like break whatever it is you've stood on. You can't break it. So you keep moving. And the foot will like eat palm nuts, and you can kick them and they will go to that side or go to this side, or you can step on them, but they don't break. Except you hit something like a stone or a piece of metal, they don't break just by stepping on them. And also, depending on the force at which you like mash them, if you have a steel-toed boot on, a pair of boots, maybe they will break. But as at then, we didn't need steel-toed boots, so we didn't even have them. This was a long time ago. So the feet cannot, although the feet says, when I step on it today, when I step on it today, I will break it. Or when I step on it tomorrow, I will break it. Just the foot cannot break it. Enu-enu. So the foot is all mouth when it comes to breaking the palm nut on the path. Whether it's the way to the farm, or the way to the king's palace, or the way to the market square, or the way to the... where else did people go? Or the way to like the the entertainment places where like people gathered, especially if it's the house of like a really, really well-to-do person that likes to host parties. Wherever the path was, you would find a lot of palm nuts just lying around. But just walking barefoot, walking, and again, like I said, most people were walking barefoot then. So just walking on them would not break them. The foot, again, we're personalizing the foot. The foot is being personalized as if it was the one talking. The foot steps on the palm nut. I will break it today. Well, if I don't break it today, maybe when I walk down this path tomorrow, I will break it. The foot cannot break it. The foot is all mouth when it comes to breaking the palm nut on the path. The foot is all mouth. The foot cannot do it. It's not something that the foot can do. So, I've explained what it means, literally. What does it really mean when you use it as an incantation? If you put onimakpa or lamakpa, enu-enu lese fi pekuro oju ona before your prayer, if you use it as an incantation, you're saying it's like even the foot is significant. Even using the foot is significant. When you step on something, you take ownership of it, or it's just a form of either oppression or taking charge of something, or defeating something. When you're able to put your foot on it, you've defeated it, kind of thing. I think that's common across cultures. So the foot cannot really exert dominance over the palm nut by breaking it, because just the bare foot can't. So if I'm praying and I say onimakpa or lamakpa, enu-enu lese fi pekuro oju ona, ọmọ aráyé ò ní rí ẹ pa. Onimakpa or lamakpa, enu-enu lese fi pekuro oju ona, ọmọ aráyé ò ní rí ẹ pa. Ọmọ aráyé is like children of the earth, people, just people. Oniri ekpa would not be able to kill you. Again, pa here is a word that means either break or kill or destroy, depending on the context that you use it in. So when you put that before, people would not be able to kill you as a prayer, or nobody will be able to defeat you by killing you. Nobody would be able to, I think kill does it, nobody will be able to kill you. Onimakpa or lamakpa, enu-enu lese fi pekuro oju ona, ọmọ aráyé ò ní rí ẹ pa. The foot cannot break the palm nut. Pa is also a word that means kill. The foot cannot kill the palm nut by either breaking it into pieces, or cannot break the palm nut by just stepping on it. Children of the world, people, would not be able to kill you, would not be able to overcome you. It's just something that the feet cannot do. We say ekrola labakwewa. If you don't break the palm knot, you know, it could remain that way forever. The palm knot can stay that way without breaking. If you don't intentionally break it with like a hard, heavy object, like a stone or something, a palm kernel could be in a palm knot forever. They will say, we will be able to kill him today. And despite trying to step on you or attack you in some way, they won't be able to. And if they say, okay, it didn't work today, let's try tomorrow. When they try to kill you, step on you again, it's just not going to work because the foot cannot break a palm knot. The bare feet still cannot break a palm knot. If you want to try, get some palm knots, step on them and see if they will break. They just will not break except you get a stone. So today I will kill it. Today I will break it. Tomorrow I will break it. The foot simply cannot break the palm knot. So even when your enemies or people who are trying to kill you or harm you in some way are saying, oh, if we'll do it today, oh, we will do it tomorrow, they will just keep postponing it, or they will just keep attempting with no success whatsoever, just because the foot cannot break the palm knot. So in this sense, in this incantation, in this offer, you are making yourself a palm knot, or you are making whoever you're praying for a palm knot, and you're making your enemy the foot. The foot just, nobody will be able to exert dominance over you or overcome you. The feet swears that it can break a palm knot, but it can't. We're in the business of personifying. That's why I said it can't. It can't. The foot simply can't. The feet simply cannot break or kill the palm knots. So I'm hoping that you understand at this point. I don't know if I've explained it well or if I broke it down enough. As small as the palm knot is, the foot is unable to conquer it. As small as it is, the foot is unable to conquer it. If it was, what else? What is soft that people can just step on and they'll break? I'm trying to think of something. There are several things that are bigger in size than the palm knot that when you step on them, it's like, okay, think about a certain like plastic. Actually, the plastics that were introduced back then were really strong too. You couldn't break them by just stepping on them. But think about maybe a plate made with plastic or something. If you stepped on it, on like that kind of plate, it would break. And it's bigger in size than the palm knot. As small as it is, it's just undefeatable by the foot. So you will not be defeated. Okay. If you require further clarification, let me know. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and thank you for your support. Please continue to support my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.